There's three things in order to get like a happy, healthy, stable mind and life: exercise, meditation, and journaling. Those are three things that lead to a happy, healthy, and just mental sovereign life. Well, actually, it's like a procedural thing as well. Omni talk. Omni talk. Omni talk. I'm gonna stop. What's up? Alright, so for those of you who don't know, this is Omni Talks. Basically, this is me just talking about something that I want to talk about, whether it be life enhancing, or it's an idea, or a topic, or just anything in general. This is what we talk about here at Omni. We talk about everything, so, because you know, Omni, everything. Whatever. Alright, so personally, I've done a lot of mental, mind, soul, body, you know, mind, body, soul, spiritual, mental health, all that type of research. I've been kind of looking at different videos, speakers, books, articles. I feel like a lot of them point to the same stuff for real, and they just be saying it in different ways. I forget what quote I was looking at, but it was from this one article. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick. Oh, I just got hit up by my boy Trayvon here. That's cool. I was talking. That's crazy how it works. I was talking about this mental, mind, spiritual, body, life enhancing stuff, and this dude's all about it, bro. So it's like, you just now. I just saw his message. But anyways, scientists, sages, and seers use different languages to describe the same phenomena. Each has been initiated on a different path of thinking, but are drawn towards the same primordial center. In other words, I feel like a lot of the conclusions I've come to and noticed and made, a lot of different websites, people on both science and religious or spiritual sides have kind of pointed to the same thing. There's three things in order to get like a happy, healthy, stable mind and life: exercise, meditation, and journaling. Those are three things that lead to a happy, healthy, and just mental sovereign life. The way I see it, it's like a procedural thing as well. For example, let's start with exercise. So Jim Quick, which is a dude who, his story is amazing. He was known as the boy with the broken brain back then as a kid, but he was able to like full tap into his mind, learn how to learn, like learning about learning, and he started changing his life around. Now he can memorize like a whole crowd of people, like hundreds of them, like their name and face without even trying. But anyways, one of the quotes he said before that really stuck to me was, when your body moves, the brain grooves. Meaning, exercise is just good for you in general. And it's really good for your brain as well. Like, it's really good. So the more you're moving around, the more you're getting stuff going, like you'll just feel better naturally. So in other words, this is the fuel and energy that your body and your brain needs to survive and thrive. Not just survive, but thrive. That's huge. All right, and then you have meditation. Now, when I say meditation, I don't mean like the whole like you're getting into Zen mode, like you're crossing your legs crisscross. You got the fingers going like whatever this is, and like you're looking up, like you're thinking about nothing, and like you're just transcending into out of this mortal realm. No, I'm not talking about that. Meditation, people like to say it's like that, but it's really not as, it can be if you want it, but it's really not that deep. Meditation, honestly, to me, it's like you're playing spectator in your mind. Because first of all, I'll say meditation is definitely not just sitting down and thinking about nothing, because that's dumb. Like, our minds are meant to think about stuff. That's like trying to tell your heart to stop beating. It's like, it's doing its job. It's gonna do its job regardless of what you say and do. So it's like your mind's gonna be thinking about something. So I say meditation is like you're playing spectator in your own mind. And what I mean by that is random thoughts and feelings you have about stuff that randomly like pops up in your head, it doesn't define you. Your actions that you think of define you. So basically, you separate your daily disturbances from yourself and what makes you you. You separate that and you just play spectator. So what I mean by play spectator is that if I'm meditating, if I'm like deep meditating, I sit down and whatever thought comes to my head, I just don't follow those thoughts. I just let it, whatever thought comes to my head, I just observe it to myself and just continue on. I don't fall down that line of thinking. If I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about, I'm really hungry. I don't start thinking about food after. I just let that thought pass and go by and just see what happens. And I just see what happens and pops in my head. What thoughts that just randomly pop up in my head, and what do I think about it? That's basically what I'm playing. I like doing it while sitting down because it's like easier to focus in on it, but it's more of a deeper way. But you don't have to be deep meditating all the time. You can meditate while walking. You can meditate while exercising. You can meditate while listening to music. As long as you're taking yourself out of the situation you're currently in and observing it from like an outside perspective, you're meditating. So meditation, basically, combining of exercise is nice. So exercise is giving you the fuel and energy you need to actually thrive and do your thing, right? Meditation allows you to separate yourself from your outside circumstances, your outside just everything. It allows you to distinguish yourself from what's going on around you and what your immediate emotions are of that. It's a more objective, true version of yourself that you're trying to find basically through meditation, and you're separating yourself from everything else. That's really what it is. It's not, nah, I'm not thinking about anything. No, it's not that. It's more of just playing spectator in your own mind. And finally, journaling. Journaling further cements who you really are. After meditating, isolating yourself from the random thoughts that occur in your head and the random emotions and feelings you feel, you write out exactly what makes you, you. And that's what journaling is. There's a difference between like thinking about something about yourself and actually physically writing it down. Because the way I see it, like everything in life and the way we live, everything is energy. Everything. Even the thoughts we have in our head literally produce these little electrical signals that pop up in our head. That's where our thoughts are. That, like everything is literally energy. When you take that energy that's in your head and convert it to an actual physical medium in our third dimension, it's like, it's different. It just hits different. You have like an actual tangible form of the thoughts and energy that you had in your head. You translated that into a third dimensional like form, like it's a real tangible thing. It's cemented, and then also you can recall it later. So that's also a benefit as well, because oftentimes you think about something and you just forget about it later. Now you have an actual physical piece that you can look at and read. But yeah, journaling overall, it lets you find who you are. The progression goes: exercise, you got the brain juice fuel you need for your brain to actually thrive and function and operate. Meditation allows you to separate yourself from your outside disturbances and outside feelings and outside things that come and affect you. Lets you take away yourself from those situations and play spectator, and lets you observe what's going on around you. And journaling is like the final step where you're cementing it all. You got rid of your outside disturbances. You already have the juice and energy you have for your brain to actually start doing these processes and think about it deeper. So now you're able to cement it all by writing exactly how you feel and what you're thinking and everything about you. And that's how you find your true self. So when you do all three things together, if you exercise, journal, and meditate, or exercise, meditate, journal, your life, I promise you, will start looking up. Things like, you'll notice that things like ADHD, anxiety, depression, they're very real things. I'm not going to deny that they're very real things. But the thing about it is that they're very compatible things. They're very, you can rise up to it. It doesn't have to be like that. You don't have to have panic attacks every day. You don't have to have mental breakdowns every day. That shouldn't be a regular thing. Not to say that like it'll happen eventually. Like, yeah, there'll be things that make you feel emotions, and you'll feel those emotions. But the more you practice, meditate, journal, exercise, the more you'll be aware of yourself and your surroundings, and you'll be able to take in things more as opposed to just freaking out. Another thing that Jim Quick said that really stuck out to me in his videos about just like mental health and like strength and mental sovereignty is the idea of his thermometer and thermostat analogy. What a thermometer does, it reads the situation around it, right? It sees what the temperature is and relays it. And it can't do anything about it. All it can do is just react to what's going on around it. And what's a thermostat do? A thermostat sets the temperature. The thermostat decides what temperature it wants to be and when it wants to be and how it wants to do it. It's not reacting to anything. It's making its own environment. It's making its own sovereignty. So you want to be a thermostat, not a thermometer. Thermometer feels the weather around it and then it changes according to it, as opposed to making its own weather and making its own situations. By exercising, meditating, and journaling, you're giving your body the energy it needs to actually make these connections and think deeply. And then you're separating yourself from your outside disturbances, and you're truly cementing yourself in your own reality. By doing all that, I swear, I promise you, things will start looking up really, really fast. A secret fourth tip that I would add as well to that as well is I think fasting is OP in my opinion. I'm not sure if it's like scientifically proven or all that shit, but like for real, like fasting goes crazy. Fasting to me, like it's like it resets you, bro. Like it gets you really nice. And adding that in as a secret fourth tip, more the merrier. Hell, I'll even say stretching is another one as well. Stretching and breathing together, also crucial parts of a healthy, happy, stable life. Because breathing is obvious. The air is so important. It's used for so much of our body. We take that in. If we didn't have air, we'd be somewhere in the corner or something. But like, yeah. And stretching, it's just nice. It's just good to stretch our bones and just feel flexible and loose, just like how we should be moving around with our lives and ourselves. So it's like, yeah. I guess another secret tip would be dieting. But that's a whole different area. It's a whole different industry. But yeah, if you do those three things, I'm sure your life will start looking up. And even if it doesn't, you'll be actively putting yourself in a position for it to start looking up, as opposed to not doing anything, just getting into your ADHD, stress, panic attacks, or depression. You shouldn't have to do that.